from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Three. I'm Laura Harris-Smith. So excited to be talking with Cheryl Chumley, and she is from the Washington Times, but as you now know, she has written many books. You're so prolific, Cheryl, you really are, and I am excited to get more into a couple of the books. Your first one was Police State USA.
Yes.
All right, we're going to cover that one before we leave, but we also were, at the close of the last show, which if you didn't see, go to theTHREE.tv and check it out. We were talking about lockdown, first of all, the socialist plan to take away your freedom, and then also socialists don't sleep. So before we move on to the third book, The Devil in DC, that I do want to cover, I want you to tell us, if it's not, about socialism or party, why did you write Socialists Don't Sleep? And what do you mean by that besides the obvious, which is that they're always busy working, we got to get busy.
Right. Well, it's interesting because I actually conceived of Socialists Don't Sleep years and years and years ago when George Bush was in the White House, and he brought forward an agenda, the American Home Down Payment Act.
Okay.
And it was to reach out and give tax dollars to minorities so they can purchase a home. And I thought, how is that not socialism?
No kidding.
And from that, I conceived the title, Socialists Don't Sleep. And then it sort of ran down in my mind the various chapters. But my husband at the time told me, the timing's not right for something like this. Socialism is still in the closet. People don't talk about it. So I put it on the back burner until I actually wrote it. So it was just all the things that we do in America that are socialist, but we don't call it that.
Right.
Because we're afraid to call it out for what it is.
Yeah. I have some friends that just came back. They were missionaries in South Africa, and they were saying that they consider it socialism that our taxes go toward the police here or our libraries. We say socialism is okay, so they get all of their health care free over there, and there's that whole debate. But they think it's socialistic for us to have anything that the government pays for, which technically there's some merit to that argument. It's a matter of, I think it comes down to the overreach and your individual liberties not being exploited.
Well, exactly. It goes down to the basic function of government, right? Which is to preserve and protect God-given rights, which into that plays the importance of police, emergency responders, firefighters.
Okay.
And these are things that we as a nation have agreed are important, along with border control.
Yeah.
So the left has really done a disservice to the right by clouding the definition of socialism by saying, well, paying for police is socialist. It's not. It really isn't.
We talked about how so much of this is rooted in fear, any kind of overreach, any kind of control, even in your own life. If I'm feeling the urge to take control of something, it's because I'm afraid it's not going to get done the right way or whatever, So a friend of mine, just prior to COVID, none of us had heard the name, she had a dream that she was standing and the sun rose and the corona burst and two huge, like fiery darts came out of it, more like torches. They just shot out. And she said one said sickness and the other said fear. And she kind of prayed on that and thought, I don't know what that means. And then the coronavirus started to be talked about. And the whole nation was focusing on the illness. And I think the fear part snuck up on a lot of us.
Right.
In the name of health and being responsible. If you really love somebody, you're going to wear 3 masks or whatever, And so I am thankful that you have really tried to expose that. By the way, your covers are beautiful. I love it. They're very provocative.
Yeah.
You know, and
the publisher did a good job with
okay,
those.
well, so check those out.
Yeah.
You see them on your screen. Before we get to The Devil in D.C., I want to talk about Police State USA. That was your first book.
Yes.
When was that written?
2014.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been authoring for 10 years. Sounds like you've been writing your whole life.
Yeah,
Were you scribbling on napkins like in kindergarten and stuff?
Kind of, yes.
Me too. Okay. Why did you write Police State USA?
Because there was so much going on in America that we had accepted as rightful roles of government, or that we had accepted as rightful roles of others to dictate how we should live. And I saw it leading us down a police state type of government. And in that, I included everything from how police use their powers, and I'm pro-police, right? But that doesn't mean they can't do wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm pro-teachers, but they can do wrong as well.
Too.
So I looked at some of the things that police were doing at the time, which I thought was unconstitutional, and I wrote about that. I looked at things like homeowners associations, things that we sign up willingly for, and then we find ourselves in positions we can't even change our oil in our own yard or put a flower pot in our yard. Things that we as a nation...
We've had these discussions lately,
Yeah, or technology, right? Things that we just give away, privacies, and we do it without thinking. So it was a warning to America where this is all leading.
Okay, I'm going to throw this question in there. Have you ever thought of running for office?
I've been asked that
Have you been
before.
asked? Okay, that's the better way. That's the most diplomatic way to say it. Have people talked to you and said, why aren't you running?
They have, which puzzles me because I don't strike as being very diplomatic to myself. I
don't think we need diplomacy anymore.
I don't think so either.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
But I do think that you're in a spot where you can have so much influence. As an opinion editor, again, you're not just a journalist. I can tell you have an appreciation for that and for truth.
Yes.
But, I mean, to have an opinion and be able to express it in such a way that the Lord can even speak through you, it's a very prophetic role. You're able to pray and say, Lord, what would you like said?
I was going
to say, it shows.
I do that. And honestly, I think that it's not even my opinion so much. People around America are thinking it. They're just afraid to speak it out. Or they don't know that other people are thinking it the same. So it's good to be in a position where I feel like I'm giving other people a voice that
that's
otherwise
what you're
would
doing.
be shut down.
That is what you are doing. You are having conversations that people want to have. And they are feeling heard. So I hope that you are feeling heard. I hope that you're going, that's me, that's me, that's me. I have felt that way. You're not alone. So after the break, we will have more. And I am excited just to jump into, kind of make the connection for you between what's going on at your kitchen table. We're going to take you to D.C. and talk about some things that are happening there. Right back after the break. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Laura Harris-Smith, inventor of Quiet Brain Essential Oil Blend. You know, if you would have told me 2 years ago when I was mixing that very first little bottle that we would have thousands of customers from all over the world and that we'd have to quadruple our staff to keep up with the demand produced by our international TV infomercial, I'm not sure I would have believed you. And if you told me I'd be hearing regular testimonies of improved sleep, reduced stress, migraine relief, even help with other neurological challenges like seizures, PTSD, tremors, muscle spasms, even anxiety, well, I probably would have cried. And sometimes when I'm reading a Quiet Brain testimony, I do. But if you would have told me 1 year ago when we introduced our Quiet Brain Variety Gift Box that it would become the biggest selling item on our online store at quietbrainoil.com, I would have said, I believe it. The reason is because I created the gift box to be the perfect combination of all of our Quiet Brain products. The oil itself for topical use on the skin that contains only certified pure oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier and bring speedy relief and neurological support. And our aromatherapy line with our Quiet Brain shampoo and conditioner, candles, inhalers, all of which use the nasal passages to gain direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. So whether you need to use Quiet Brain topically or aromatherapeutically, the Quiet Brain gift box has everything that you need. And now we've given our gift box an upgrade without increasing the price. It now comes with our satin Quiet Brain Sleep Eye Mask. Just put a few drops of oil on the nose guard and you're on your way to enjoying a good night's sleep. And it all comes packaged in a beautiful gift box and delivered to the destination of your choice or sent to you so you can use it for 7 different gifts or keep a few for yourself. When sold separately, The items in the box are $160, but you're getting it for $135. That's a $25 savings, meaning that you're getting the nasal inhaler and the shampoo and conditioner for free. The Quiet Brain gift box comes with one Whisper Quiet Nightlight diffuser with 16 color options and intermittent mist options, one dropper bottle of Quiet Brain, one Quiet Brain nasal inhaler, one Quiet Brain candle, the satin sleep eye mask, and your healing shampoo and conditioner. And remember, both are color safe, aloe enriched, paraben and sulfate free, loaded with wonderful ingredients like unscented coconut oil, olive oil, sugar beet betaine, and of course the Quiet Brain blend with its 8 essential oils like lavender, frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and more. We get repeated testimonies of both being used with great effectiveness during headaches for pain relief. So go to quietbrainoil.com to order. Quiet Brain is a great gift for any time of the year, but especially for seasons like these that bring additional stress. Give the gift of health and peace this year. Give the gift of Quiet Brain.
Hey guys, you're watching The Three. I'm Laura Harris-Smith, and we're continuing our discussion with Cheryl Chumley, and I want to just ask you, you've been doing this for almost 10 years, the topic on your heart being get America back to where she used to be. I think God's put you in a position to where you can speak for so many of us who say, what is going on? This doesn't look like the America that I grew up with. So I don't know how you find time to do all of this. Socialists don't sleep, and neither does Cheryl Chumley, okay? So, but talk to me about the progression of Police State USA. What was going on in your personal life that was like Police State USA? Those are some pretty hefty titles, you know. The Socialists Don't Sleep, all of those. I don't know that a lot of people were talking about that at the time. And how did it get received?
Well, Police State USA came about at a time where the hands up, don't shoot, lies, and so forth. And honestly, when you just asked that question, I was thinking what drives me to write these books is I at some point I usually get outraged at the lies and deceptions, and I just feel the need to bring forward a longer piece on it. So in 2014, it was hands up, don't shoot, and it was those lies, and it was well received because timing-wise, police brutality issues were being talked about in the media, so that did pretty well. Wow,
that is just astounding. Yeah, this is like a trip down memory lane, thinking what inspired you and what was going on in the news. That's pretty incredible. Okay, I want to jump right into The Devil in DC. And that book, which I love your book titles. They're so provocative. Your covers are great. Who's your publisher?
For that book, it was WND.
Okay. Well, kudos to them for allowing you to just have a big old megaphone. They're not afraid, to broadcast whatever that is. You are in such a great spot to be able to say these things that so many of us want to say, and sometimes we wonder if anyone is going to say them. Cheryl Chumley is saying them, okay? So we've talked about Socialists Don't Sleep. I don't think Cheryl Chumley sleeps. But tell us set that up for us. Set up The Devil in DC, why you wrote it, and I am curious if there was any backlash from it.
Of course there was backlash, right? Christian and conservative, so you get backlash. But I wrote it because Police State USA detailed the problems in America, but didn't go into so many solutions. And I thought, you know what, I could write a whole book of solutions. So Devil in DC was basically solution-oriented. Every chapter is sort of an action point, what Christians who are concerned about the state of America can do to reel back government, to reel back collectivism, and to bring more God-given individual liberties to the forefront.
Okay, so it's like a manual for things that you can do.
It is.
Give us just a few. What are some things that you can do?
So one of the number one things that I think individuals can do is be more charitable, not just with money, but with time, because the more that individuals do, the less government is called to do. And one of the most angering moments I hear when I talk to people during various interviews is the question about, well, isn't Jesus a socialist? Wouldn't he be a socialist?
I've heard that, yeah.
And that really bothers me because I find it such a deception. Jesus never went about preaching about the need for government to provide, right? It was always you as individuals help out.
Right.
And that's what charity does, you know, as opposed to government with the big entitlement programs.
Yeah, and you think about even when in the pro-life argument, there are still going to be babies who need homes.
Right.
And so we did an interview recently with the March for Life president, Jeannie Mancini, and we were having this talk about, so if all you can do is open up your home for one girl, if all you can do is buy an unwed, you know, pregnant mother vitamins, prenatals. So you're just saying there are different things that we can do to take back the power so that government doesn't have to have this overreach. If the church would just do its job, Cheryl. If we would just stand up and be our charitable selves. And I also agree with you. Jesus, the things that he did that looked like socialism were within the church. These were fellow believers, you know, who had all things in common. And it was because of their faith. It wasn't because Jesus came as some political figure to rescue everybody from the Romans. That's not the way that it worked. So I really appreciate you saying that. What's something else that we can do? What's another thing in The Devil in D.C., your book, that common person on Main Street USA can do?
Well, as part of that, to expand on that, instead of giving money to political parties, right? What does the RNC or the DNC do for you? Really, give your money to those areas that fight for the principles that are important to you, that stand for individualism. For instance, would you rather have your money go toward HUD, Housing and Urban Development, to go in that big bureaucratic bloat? Or would you rather have your money go to Habitat for Humanity, right? Where they actually go out there and build homes. So, you know, in my chapters, I list all these organizations that, you know, if you want to give money to somebody or some cause, they would be much more beneficial uses of your money than giving to political causes, political parties.
I am just, we do think of these things, but it's like now we've been given permission and some ideas and writing on things that you can do. Where can they get The Devil in D.C.?
Again, anywhere books are offered, Amazon, or go to my website, and there are links there.
Okay. We've got one segment left with Cheryl, and when you come back, we're going to just kind of hem everything up and talk about what the future is like for her. I'm wondering if I could get her to run for office. Just kidding. Okay. All right. Back over to the break.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the third one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET BRAIN.
I'm naturopathic Dr. Laura Harris Smith, and if you'll give me 10 days, Give It to God and Go to Bed can help you stress less, sleep better, and dream more. There are even links inside to my free 10 Days to Deeper Sleep and Dreams program and 10 Goodnight videos.
Can you close your eyes and just still listen to me?
The whole book takes place in your bedroom, and with chapter titles like The Junk Under Your Bed, The Treasures in Your Bedroom, and The Monsters in Your Closet. Give It to God and Go to Bed helps you learn to rest and hear God speak in dreams. Take back your sleep and dreams, my friend, with Give It to God and Go to Bed.
Welcome back to theTHREE. I'm Laura Harris Smith, and we are talking in our final moments, final segment with Cheryl Chumley. And she is, as we've established, with the Washington Times, prolific author, but I really appreciate the fact that you are inside the mind of the common American and you want to tell them what they can do. There is a sense that we are losing control, even of our own children. It's so far-reaching that now children it seems like they have rights, not in the womb, but they have rights once they're out to make decisions without their parents even. So this is spinning out of control, and I see yours as a very stabilizing voice. So again, I'm just going to outline the books here for you. The first one was Police State USA, and again, we're going to put the website on the screen, and you just go and visit it and get everything. The second one was The Devil in D.C.,
yes,
correct?
It was. Yeah.
And then Socialists Don't Sleep, Never Sleep?
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Socialists Don't Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the current one, Lockdown. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about during the break, what was it you said? That the lockdown, we were talking about hoaxes, and you said not
yes.
the virus. Yeah, what did you say there?
I was telling you how in April of 2020, when the virus was first breaking, that I wrote a piece for the Washington Times with the title, "The Coronavirus Will Go Down in History as the Biggest Political Hoax." And that's not to say the virus was fake, but all the political fallout from it was completely drummed up by fear.
That is incredible. And now where are we today? Do you see this turning? You're doing your part, I'm doing my part.
Right.
Where do you think we're going to be in a year even?
Yeah, that's the question, right? And I gotta say, I'm not that optimistic about America's path that we're on right now.
Because we're getting at a gallop. We're going faster and faster down that road.
I'm telling you, if Christians don't get bolder and they don't come out of the corner and just stand up, whatever area of influence they have, and stand up strong, we're just gonna crumble. Because we've got the globalists coming on hard with that whole Great Reset, which go to World Economic Forum's website and see how that impacts America. We've got this crazy LGBTQ agenda that people are afraid to say.
They are afraid.
You know what? You've got a psychological problem, and you don't deserve to hold that office if you say that boys can become girls just by changing their clothing. Right? I mean, where is this madness coming from? It's satanic.
It is.
And we've got the youth in America who are turning away from church, turning away from God, and their parents really not fighting hard for it. So the optimism, of course, is always with God, and He doesn't need a majority, right?
That's true.
One person,
He's proven that.
one Gideon. I mean, the Bible's filled with how God just uses the very few. But we do need more Christians in order to give motivation to other Christians and to put the evil back in the dark corners.
Yeah, oh, for sure, for sure. That is so good. I'm thinking when I look down the road, there's going to be an era, a generation at least, of frustrated intercessors, people who we want change, we want to be optimistic, but we know how this plays out. We know how the end of the Bible reads. We know there's going to be an unholy trinity, and an Antichrist and the beast and the false prophet, which I am becoming increasingly convinced, Cheryl, that the false prophet is linked to the fake news and that whole thing.
Right.
How else are you going to have miracles being performed, the Antichrist and miracles being performed, and the whole world seeing it?
That
doesn't happen unless the media is involved.
Yep.
And so I just get chills when I think about how what we're living through right now is setting the stage for all of that, but we can still play a part in it. It's not doom and gloom.
No.
We still have a responsibility to right now to say, even if it's just they are your children, or stop the madness. You just called it madness. It is satanic. All of these things, these influences that are trying to change not just the core of who we are as Christians, but the core of why our country was founded to begin with.
Right.
And so that's why I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to surprise you. I don't typically do this, but the Lord has surprised me. While we have been at NRB, and by the way, we've knocked out, by the end of the day, it'll be 20 shows. I know. I'm still awake.
You don't sleep.
Yeah, that's right. That's another book.
Yeah.
Women don't sleep. But during the course of these, so far, I guess 16 shows, there have been, I think, 3 occasions when, while talking with someone, I saw an angel over them. I don't want to make this mystical. To me, it's very practical. Prayers of protection are no joke, and we pray them, and the Lord, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him. And I've seen it once with like 3 people. I have seen it 4 times seen them 4 times sitting here talking to you, Cheryl. The Lord he is protecting you. He has you right where you need to be. I was making a joke beforehand about you running for office, but whatever the future is, you're going to get there, and you are right where God wants you to be. You are very protected. You're writing with his pen, inspirational, for sure, heaven inspired. So
That's very sweet.
I'm telling you, and I do believe, I personally believe, as a Christian, that the Lord still speaks today.
Oh, absolutely.
So I bring my cameras, I set up, the lights, and we interview, and then the Holy Spirit, Jehovah Sneaky, shows up and surprises me. So I think that although our viewers are going to be blessed by hearing about you today, I want you to know that the Lord has put you where you are for such a time as this. It's really like that Esther anointing when the Lord has lowered his scepter to you. And I think it's going to continue. I think it's going to continue in your life. And I really believe that you need to just remember the name, Cheryl Chumley. And I think you need to get her books. Again, we're going to put the address on the screen. And, no pressure, Cheryl, but whatever the next book is, whatever the next thing is that God has you to say, I'm going to be poised and ready to read it. And this has never happened on air when I have just been, and I hope that I'm not, making you uncomfortable, but prophetically just beginning to speak. You have not even scratched the surface. I really believe that if the Lord has that much angelic protection around you, escorts, I don't know what else to call them, but they are angelic. They're sent from the Lord. He is going to take you places. I am honored to have gotten to meet you today.
Wow.
Yeah. May I pray for you really quickly?
Oh,
we're out
please.
of time, and I don't
Please
care.
do.
So, Father, I just thank you for Cheryl. I thank you for her life. I thank you for where it started, the journey that she has traversed, the path that she's traversed. I thank you for every rival, anything that has gotten her to the place where she will speak her opinions, where she will speak your heart without fear. So I look forward to what you're going to continue to do through her. Protect her, Father, and just prosper her in every way. In the name of Jesus, amen. God bless you. What a surprise. I look forward to keeping in touch with you.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us. Really looking forward we've got a couple of shows left here to shoot. You're not seeing them in real time, but we're having fun in real time. I'm Laura Harris Smith, another great episode of The Three. We're always looking out for you, body, mind, and spirit. Bye-bye for now.